Liam here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments, the series where I take a look at the Pokemon anime and I go, what were you lot thinking? But without further ado, let's take a look at the WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 42, Showdown at Dark City. The gang arrive in the lazily named Dark City, and it's deserted. A kid runs out from one of these derelict-looking houses, and the mum drags them back in, saying, what if there are Pokemon trainers out? From the looks of things, love, they've already been out.
I don't think that's what the woman referring to. I think she referred to two gym leaders, trainers. You know, because it caused havoc between each other and caused disaster in the town.
Misty asks why would they be afraid of Pokemon trainers? Maybe it's something to do with children as young as 10 having free access to all manner of wild monsters with the capability to attack using various elements such as fire and electricity with destructive force. Just a hunch. It's like if children could legally carry assault rifles. You would not want to be outside your house in that world.
Oh my god. First off, the starter Pokemon are not wild Pokemon. They are breed. Second of all, why in the world do you compare kids if they had assault rifles? Do you forget that Nerf gun is a thing?
Some tiny stones are thrown at Pikachu, so Ash instantly orders Pikachu to go on the attack, electrocuting 3 children. You've just proved that poor woman's point from before. Thoughtless decisions like this are exactly why people should be afraid of Pokemon trainers, especially the young ones.
Refer to the 2 seconds ago.
This episode is called Showdown at Dark City. Oh wait, no, it's in all caps, so the episode's called Showdown at Dark City!
Holy shit! You should put a text on the screen warning us about that! Jeez!
After the gang apologise to the kids and introduce themselves, one of the kids twats them with a stick and says that if they work with Pokemon, they'd better get out of town. Kid, let's hope you never go out of town yourself, because if you don't like Pokemon, you're going to have a rude awakening, mate. This bloke turns up and apologises for the kid's behaviour and says if Ash and Co come to his restaurant, he'll explain everything. Not being funny, but if I arrived in a desolate town where all the residents I'd seen so far were absolutely so vehemently anti-Pokemon trainer, you couldn't pay me to willingly follow one of the townsfolk into a restaurant. How do we know this guy isn't going to kill them just for being Pokemon trainers? It could all be a ruse. I'd be like, nah mate, you can explain everything right here, thank you very much.
Oh my frigging lord. Look, I understand that people don't like Pokemon, because of 2 friggin' reasons. But they are not kill people. Jeez. It's like if Peter killed the... you know what I mean.
I got you, Shadow. What he meant to say, it's like Sir Topham at his head controller, because he order his men to group a parry for no reasons when there is. If everyone check Eww video in link in description below.
The bloke explains that the town has 2 feuding gyms, the Kaz Gym and the Yas Gym, who are both competing to be the official gym of Dark City. Well, since domestic terrorism isn't something the Pokemon League probably particularly look for in an official gym, why not just call the police? If everyone in town knows these 2 gyms are causing all these problems, why not just rat them out and have them disbanded?
I agree with that. Like, jeez, mate. You really fighting over who is the main gym? Really? Really? Why do you get share the same city you know, worked at?
Pikachu is literally the worst friend ever. If ever someone asks you to pour them some ketchup, you don't pour it to your liking. You pour a little bit and you go, is that enough for you? And if they say no, you pour a little bit more and you check again until the person that you're pouring ketchup for is satisfied. What you absolutely don't do is coat your friend's entire meal in ketchup to the point where it's completely inedible. Like, don't get me wrong, I am a ketchup fiend when it comes to my own food. I even get funny looks from people for the sheer amount of ketchup that I consume. But even I know this is to do to someone else's meal. Pikachu, you're a mate.
Meme. Approved.
The Kaz Gym's leader sounds like Lieutenant Surge after a night of heavy drinking.
Get ready, today the Kaz Gym's going to crush you.
And now it's time for the single greatest cry in the entire Generation 1 Pokemon anime. Okay, ready? Deep breath, and... Stupid.
Yeah, indeed. That's actually more funnier than Wario's wah 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 noise. Hey, that's hurtful. Not more hurtful than the non-fighting Smash Bros.
Yeah, I think Waluigi is not happy to see you here, since you all can fight it. Ow. Bye now.
The Yas Gym's leader sends out a Scyther. And after moving incredibly quick the way a Scyther would, we see these buildings in the background just appear completely demolished. But the 3 Kaz dudes also vanished, so did Scyther cut them up too? Seriously, did Scyther just commit triple homicide?
Approved.
Direct quote from Misty.
That's not even a Pokemon battle. It's more like a street fight.
Nah, because there's no knives, there's no guns, the people fighting are using Pokemon to battle. It's definitely more of a Pokemon battle than it is a street fight.
Apparently, he never played or watched Street Fighter games or film before.
Direct quote from Meowth. Hey, cuck. Jesus, Meowth sounds like Reddit.
Well, Liam, that man works in a restaurant, so when Meowth calls him cook, he's spelling it C-O-O-K, not C-U-C-K.
We know.
If you say you know that, then why you said cock before? In fact, Meowth didn't say cock, he said cook. Is he deaf or something?
Team Rocket ordered the restaurant owner to make the lunch special for 30 people on behalf of the Kaz Gym. But the guy tells them the Kaz Gym haven't paid their bill for 2 years. Then why have you still been serving them up to now? Surely after a few months of them not paying their bill, you'd stop serving them, not wait 2 years, you cuck. Ash and Co are absolutely shocked to find out the duo with the fancy hair and the talking Meowth are actually Team Rocket. Really? Surprised? After all this time, Team Rocket willingly choose not to complete their motto. I am disgusted. Ash sends out Pikachu to fight Team Rocket and Misty sends out Starmie. But when Brock sends out Vulpix, Ash and Misty both exclaim, Vulpix? As if it was some really weird choice. Am I missing something here? Is it because Brock doesn't use Vulpix to battle all that often? To be fair, Brock rarely joins the battle anyway, so maybe it's just the shock of him actually getting off his arse to help.
Or they cannot believe that Brock used Vulpix to, battle Team Rocket, since the episode where Brock got Vulpix, involved with grace and beauty, meaning Vulpix should not get messy by battle.
If Team Rocket were all hit by Vulpix's flamethrower at the same time and for the same amount of time, why are they all burned differently? Like, what is it about James that means that he was cooked well done, but Jessie was medium and Meowth was rare? Like, with the amount of hairspray Jessie must need for that hair, I'm surprised there's anything left of her. So how did James come off worse?
Approved.
This tried to sip their coffee through their mask as if there was a mouth hole. Bloody anti-maskers are thick as pigs, aren't they?
You have no idea.
According to this bird, Jessie, James and Meowth are some of the strongest bodyguards of Kaz Gym. If that's the case, how bad must the trainers at Yas Gym be if they can't beat the Kaz Gym? Misty warns Ash not to get mixed up in this gang war because it could affect their reputation as Pokemon trainers. Honestly, the fact that this gang war has been going on for like 2 years and nothing's been done about it suggests that maybe they've got nothing to worry about. I don't think the Pokemon League care. I'm sure when I was like 11, Ash calling himself Tom Ato, Misty calling herself Anchovy, and Brock calling himself Caesar Salad would have been absolutely hilarious. But as an adult, I'm just questioning anybody that believes that those are their real names. Like, if you met a bloke and he was like, my name's Caesar Salad, you'd be like, is it? Tell me your real name, mate. Stop twatting about. The girl asks them to help the Yas Gym. Ash passes the decision off to Misty, who says they can't, but instead of backing Misty up, Brock says they'll help in any way they can. Brock, this is why you're single, mate. The kind of girls you're after don't want a lapdog. What they want is someone with some backbone and a little bit of self-control. Oh look, it's the Yas Gym. Is it annoying yet? I hope so.
Yeah, indeed. I originally gonna do the Yas Queen joke, but you know the main reason why.
I can't believe Pikachu just straight up stole the ketchup from the restaurant. The guy who owns that restaurant could probably barely stay open as it is, especially with some of his customers not paying their tab for 2 years, and you're gonna straight up steal his condiments? Pikachu's a selfish prick. Pass it on.
Yeah, I heard to keep it off your favorite food, but this is ridiculous.
The Yas Gym's leader sends out his Scyther to test Ash and Co.'s strength, but it ends up with ketchup in its eyes and ends up attacking its trainer. I get the idea here that seeing red sent Scyther into a frenzy, but why didn't it go into a frenzy against the people directly in front of it? Why would seeing red make it completely turn 180 and then attack its trainer? I'm just saying, it sounds more like Scyther's been waiting a hell of a long time for an excuse to cut this guy down to size.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it would make sense that his eyes are, well, sting by the ketchup. Reference that the, you know.
Pikachu is devastated that the ketchup bottle was split open by Scyther. That's what you get for stealing, mate. I hope you're proud of yourself. Tell you what I'm proud of. Being sponsored by G. The Yas Gym's leader says there's no faster way to make money than being an official Pokemon gym. Pokemon gym? Money? Mate, look how Misty and Brock are dressed. Being an official Pokemon gym doesn't look like it pays as much as this guy seems to think it does.
Oh? Really? How about Sabrina? Who... you know.
You ever notice that quite often people react to Ash saying he wants to be a Pokemon master the way people react to someone who says they want to be a YouTuber? Just literally. The gym leader says if Ash won't help them, then they'll make sure that he doesn't help anyone. And his goons send out a Hitmonlee, a Hitmonchan, a Machoke, and a Mankey to beat down Ash. Ignoring the fact that the 1'8" Mankey is somehow bigger than a kneeling Ash Ketchum, I don't really get why more criminals in the Pokemon world don't use their Pokemon to attack humans. It's surely got to be easier to knock out a human than to give them chance to send out their own Pokemon to defend them. Surely. Turns out this wasn't much of a beatdown at all, since Misty and Brock were able to calmly walk Ash away from the fight, whilst the Yas Gym's Pokemon are seemingly fighting each other.
While I agree on the latter part, the former... You said that they walk into it, but yet they just run away. Is he?
Ash says, imagine if the Kaz Gym or the Yas Gym becomes an official Pokemon gym. But surely if they fought the way they do now, then they'd just get reported and shut down anyway. Seriously, people in Dark City just need to learn to pick up the phone and report crime. It's not hard.
Meme. Approved.
Misty wonders how they got out of the Yas Gym so easily, and she and Ash have a flashback to when Scyther got ketchup in its eyes. Even though Scyther had been returned to its Pokeball way before the other gym members attacked Ash, so the ketchup really had nothing to do with them getting away.
I don't think that's what she meant to say. I think she meant to say how Scyther even not attacked us yet.
According to Dexter, Scyther and Electabuzz become enraged by the color red. And over the years, I've heard a bunch of people be like,
Oh, they both become enraged by the colour red and they're both version exclusives in Pokemon Red. What a coincidence.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. It's just a coincidence. Do you really think the Pokemon company thinks that deeply about things, especially 20 years ago? Come on, this is a company that recently thought removing the national dex would be smooth sailing. Don't give them too much credit.
Meme. I don't know.
This kid says Scyther is the Yas Gym's strongest Pokemon, and Electabuzz is the Kaz Gym's strongest Pokemon. I mean, if that's the case, let's just be thankful they can't evolve. The two gyms are planning to stamp each other out before the official Pokemon League inspector arrives later today. But let's be real. If the inspector turns up and finds the town in ruins and a bunch of terrified residents, they're hardly going to be like,
Sure, we can make this an official Pokemon gym town. It's definitely safe for young trainers to come here on the journey.
why did that go goofy towards the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's pretty goofy move.
The Kaz Gym leader says he's only going to say this once.
The Kaz Gym is going to be the official gym of Dark City.
Only going to say it once. Mate, something tells me you've been saying this a lot over the last 2 years.
Victory Screech!
The Yas Gym Scyther is surrounded by 4 Pokemon and gets told to use Swords Dance and then cut. Bearing in mind it's against a Rhydon and a Golem, both of which will barely feel a cut even after a Swords Dance. God, it's no wonder this town doesn't have an official gym. It doesn't even hit the Pokemon in question. It just slices a building in half and tries to kill Team Rocket. What a crappy Pokemon. Can't even take orders.
Agreed. At least they do, you know, use Soul Stand, then use Quick Attack, then cut, mate? Like, really? Cut?
Hitmonchan punching Rhydon and Rhydon just not moving is probably my favourite part of the episode, to be honest. Ash and Co coat the two gym leaders in ketchup with the obvious intent of having Electabuzz and Scyther turn on them and attack them. But surely the gym leaders could just return their Pokemon to their Pokeballs since they're in possession of them and then just go wash up. Like, it's a bit of a flawed plan.
Approved.
I don't even know how the ketchup lands on Team Rocket because they were nowhere near the scene of the barrels and the dumping of the ketchup. So, what?
That's a good question.
When Electabuzz becomes enraged, its eyes vanish for a moment. That's enough to make anybody say, Once again, I don't get why Electabuzz and Scyther turn around to attack their own trainers when the opposing trainer, who is also red, is directly in front of each of them. That to me doesn't make sense at all. If they're so enraged and they're so angered by seeing red, surely they would attack the first red thing that they see, which is directly in front of them.
I agree with that. I mean, Cypher and Electabuzz are literally look at their rivals trainer. And they go for their own trainers. What the heck? You literally have an eyesight on them and you go for your own. What the heck? They are not have eyes on their back.
Ash gets Bulbasaur to use its vines to throw a bucket of ketchup over Scyther and Electabuzz. But if he could have done that all along, why didn't they just get Bulbasaur to do that for the gym leaders? Why did they use that weird barrel ramp system that they had going on? Seems like a lot of wasted effort.
Except if you pay attention to this picture I put, you know that Cypher and Electabuzz trainers are near the building, meaning it's focused on the trainers who at those locations. Hello? Do you not notice that? But then again, he's not a trap master, so what I'd expect.
We're all thinking it, so I'm just going to say it. I know why Scyther's shiny is the way it is, but Scyther's shiny would have been so much better if it had Scizzor's colouring, and this absolutely proves it.
Excellent meme. Approved.
Electabuzz and Scyther defeat each other by running into each other. Once. That's all it takes to defeat these two Pokemon. I thought they were supposed to be the strongest in town. Dark City's trainers suck. Pass it on.
Except you answer yourself. These two Pokemon are the strongest gym Pokemon. Meaning they are, can KO and ram each other. Granted, ramming each other is a stupid move, but still.
The leaders of the Kaz Gym and the Yas Gym decide to join forces not to make a better gym and be better people, but to take down Ash and friends. Way to learn your lesson, lads.
Well, if you think about it, they do want to get even at Ash for cover them in paint, which, make them embarrassed to each other.
Pikachu uses Thunder, but not on anybody in particular, instead on some lightning rods that Ash and Co have installed throughout the area, and that leads the electricity down cables towards the ground, which then electrifies the ground and shocks everybody. I'm not sure that's how the ground works, though.
How you know that the wires are underground? Who knows? They may be camouflaged with paint.
The masked person turns up and apparently has either got a new mask or a spare mask, or they've cleaned the coffee stains off their mask because they're apparently not there anymore.
Liam answered himself cliche.
And reveals themselves to be the official Pokemon League Inspector. I told you today was a bad day for a fight. You should have just been on your best behavior today if you knew the Inspector was coming, but you just couldn't do it, could you? And now you've been caught red-handed. Wow! It turns out the official Pokemon League Inspector is Nurse Joy for no reason. I don't get it. Why could she not just be an official Pokemon League Inspector? What significance does her being a Nurse Joy add to any of this? Answers on a postcard, I suppose.
Why she can be a part of it? Is it a part of her characterize? Caring about not just Pokemon, but people as well. As well, checking what's wrong with them. That sound like for Inspector could do that.
Speaking of which, you can actually send us stuff. We have a PO box, just in case you didn't know. Ash tries to explain the unwritten moral code behind Pokemon battles, but completely buggers it up with lines such as,
Sure, you try to win, but you don't try to beat each other.
and this kid wants to be a Pokemon master.
It's called stage fright, mate. Because this Joy, for whatever reason you cut off, advised Ash that told them what to do instead of what they're doing.
The kids who now love Pokemon trainers all want Pikachu's autograph instead of Ash's, and Ash says,
Oh well, Pikachu really is the star.
I mean, you're not wrong there, he's the company mascot after all. As they leave Dark City, Ash says those kids really appreciate him as they shout,
We love you, Pikachu.
Pokemon, you literally just did this joke already? With the whole kids saying something, Ash thinking it's about him, and then it turning out to be about Pikachu. Get some new material, guys, and that's coming from me.
But Liam, I honestly thought you said...
The kids who now love Pokemon trainers all want Pikachu's autograph instead of Ash's, and Ash says,
Oh well, Pikachu really is the star.
I mean, you're not wrong there, he is the company mascot after all.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Scyther and Electabuzz spot the ketchup-covered Team Rocket from way off in the distance. Okay, sure, but if seeing a little bit of red off in the distance is all it takes to send Scyther and Electabuzz into a frenzy, why did they never attack Ash for wearing a red hat? Or why did they never attack Misty for wearing red braces?
Well, actually, Liam, I think the episode would have been banned if Scyther and Electabuzz just killed off Ash and Misty.
Yeah, but think of the ratings.
Approved.
Victory Screech!
Feeling suicidal? Come to the light.